I really hope you're not susceptible to FOMO. So we have had just under 3 weeks with the Nintendo Switch 2, and I just kind of wanted to share some of my thoughts on it. I am working on like a full review of the system, but I've got some like early impressions that I just kind of wanted to get off my chest because it's not all sunshine and rainbow roads. I think the key question that everyone kind of has when a new console gets announced is, should I buy it? And I'm going to be honest with you, probably not yet. I'm not going to try and sugarcoat it. There's not much here that if you aren't a big Nintendo fan will draw you to the system. If you have a Switch 1 and you are comfortable with what you've got, but you really want to play the new Mario Kart, is it really worth dropping £400 roughly, give or take, on the actual system? Probably not. If you're someone who's got no other games console but you really want to play Cyberpunk, is it worth picking up a Switch 2 to play it? Probably not. You get a better experience on other consoles. If you're someone who really wants to play Yakuza 0, it's already out on other consoles. If you've already got Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, yeah, you can play it again here with obviously nicer graphics, but is it worth the money? I'm going to be honest and say no. Now that's not to say that this thing here is a bad buy. Like I like mine, I like it a lot. But if I wasn't who I am, and by that I mean irresponsible, but if I wasn't who I am when it comes to gaming and how much I love new technology and new games consoles, there wouldn't be much here to pull me to this system. I've already got a GameCube. I've got the ability to play GameCube games on my Wii. There's not an issue there for me to, not have access to those games. Hell, there's other routes you can go down as well, which we won't mention. Is there a draw for it? No. And I'm not saying I'm disappointed with the console by any means. When you watch the full review, when I get that out, you'll understand I do really like it. It's just not something that I think people who have a passing interest in gaming should rush out to buy right now. And that's kind of based on my previous comments of the launch lineup not being the best. And what I mean by that is the launch lineup kind of not full of exclusive games. It's experiences that you can already get and have probably already had. These games aren't new, they've been out for a while, and they want you to play them again on the Switch 2. And great, yeah, if you want a portable experience, and hands down, this is probably be the best way to play some of these games. And I know some of you are out there saying, oh, I've got a Steam Deck, so have I. Doesn't matter, all right? Most people don't have a Steam Deck. Most people, even if they do have a Steam Deck, don't want to go down the route of putting emulators and doing all types of stuff which is a little bit shady on there. Buying games on Steam is ridiculously cheap at times. I'm very aware of that. I have got a Steam backlog as long as my arm. My arms aren't that long, but I'm 6'4", so the rest of my body, the whole, yeah. It's just not something that if I had a passing interest in video games, if I'd missed out on the launch of the Switch 2, that I'd be upset about. Now don't get me wrong, Mario Kart World is a hell of a lot of fun, but it's definitely not £75 or however much it is worth of fun. Definitely not that. It is a good laugh, but it is not worth that price tag. And again, I'm working on a full review of that. I've still got a few more things to unlock on it before I feel like I've had a broad enough experience to share it with you. And this isn't all doom and gloom, okay? Do not sit there and think that, oh, I'm just bad-mouthing the Switch 2. I'm not. I'm saying that if you've got a love for video games and you've got the financial resources to go and get one, then crack on. But if you're on the fence about it and you're and ahhing, I'd wait till a few more solid games come out for it. We've got Donkey Kong Bonanza coming out next month. That should be good fun. I've played a bit of it at the Nintendo event thing and I really enjoyed that, but I want to kind of see what it plays like as an actual game that I can spend my own time with it and not feeling like I've got like a limit on it and I can just explore and enjoy it at my own pace. But even after that game, your two exclusive games, quote unquote, big ones, anyway, a Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza. I've also got a review coming up for Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S as well, which I know is not a huge system seller game, but it is a game that I was given a code by the guys over at Rapid Reviews, so I'm working on something for that and I'm going to share something with you with that as well. But one thing about this console that has really impressed me is game chat, which I know game chat is not something that everyone out there was rushing to say, oh, this is going to be the best thing in the world. I, for one, doubted it a lot, and you're going to see how I tested it in the full review when that comes out. But let's just say they weren't lying. It was so good. Me and my mate Chris used it. We had a blast playing Mario Kart with it. I'm really not sure what Nintendo thinks is going to be said during Mario Kart, but I turned it into a COD lobby. I'm really sorry, Chris. And yeah, it was really impressive. I was really blown away by it. Just the hardware of this alone as well is super impressive. I have found myself picking up the Switch and just playing a couple of rounds of Mario Kart whilst I was waiting for friends to come over or to go out places. And the screen is just insane. I know it's not an OLED screen, and I know there are some things going on at the moment about like the 2D games having issues like ghosting and stuff. I personally haven't experienced that, but then again, I haven't played any 2D games on it. It's basically just been Mario Kart World. It's great, it's a lovely bit of hardware, but it's just not something I'd rush out to get. If I didn't have a YouTube channel, which, look at the sub count, I'm not making money off this yet, all right? If I didn't have this, I didn't have a love for video games, and I wasn't as entrenched in it as I am, would I miss it? Knowing what I know now? No, I wouldn't. That's not to say that in the future it's not going to be amazing, but everything's kind of up in the air at the moment with sort of third parties using game keycards and whether they're going to keep on doing that or opt for paying for 64 gig cartridges because people want to own stuff. There's so much discourse going left and right, which is why I don't want to bombard you with that, because one week it's one thing, the next week it's something else. I'm going to stop waving this around because that's an expensive thing to wave around. But something else that has happened to my Switch 2 is, I'm going to show you now, but I've got some issues with it, and the screen is actually the problem I'm having. It's not an issue with the screen as having ghosting or anything like that. It's an issue with the screen can't render things properly. I'm having these really weird green artifacts, and I'm just going to cut to a video now and show you some little bits about it. So apologies if it's the quality is not the best. I had to turn the lights off to get it to work properly because it wouldn't focus on the screen otherwise. You can see here, like it's a horrific like haze, and I've contacted Nintendo about this, and I am still waiting to get like information back about a refund and maybe replacement. But yeah, that happens there. Oh, pressing the wrong buttons here because I'm thinking play my, there we go. Yeah, that's not normal, is it? Thankfully I've got a second Switch 2 here, so I'm not going to be any like downtime with it. Of course, like, you know, heaven forbid I not have some time with this games console. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just a bit of a pain in the butt, really. But I'm hoping it gets resolved quickly, and I know that they're doing their job and it just takes some time. But with all that said, I think you can kind of see that if you don't own a Switch 2 now, and you weren't someone who really wanted it on launch date, I wouldn't worry too much. Give it a bit of time. Maybe at Christmas we'll have a few more games out. We really need to get Donkey Kong Bonanza out. We really need to get Metroid Prime 4 out. We really need to get, well, not Drag X Drive, but another game out. That game looks so boring. I know what you're trying to do, Nintendo, but really, no. I'm still unsure how Nintendo seems to think that we're all going to be sat down playing mouse controls, because I need a mouse pad and a desk, and I play these games on a sofa. What's going on there, Nintendo? Unless you're going to give me some, like, one of the lap dog things that you can get, not an actual dog. I mean, if you want to send me a dog, I'd be really appreciative of that. I could do with the company. It's me talking to this camera at the moment. Every sip of my drink that I take, I'm very conscious that my Switch 2 is right next to it. I'm just gonna leave it there, I'd be fine. But another thing I also want to say was, have I missed it when I've not been playing it? So the times when I've been doing other stuff like making these videos or playing other games on other consoles, mainly Call of Duty, because that seems to be the only thing that I play. I'm not even good at it. It's just a really good stress creator and reliever at the same time. I don't know why I still play that game. I just love the guys that I play with. Have I missed my Switch 2? No. And I think that, again, that is down to the games not being there for it. I've got my entire Switch 1 back catalogue I could play on it. Cool. I had that before June 5th. I had my Switch and all that, so I'm still in no different place there. Don't know how I'm meant to feel about this console. I'm conflicted. There's a lot of good stuff with it, and there's a lot of stuff that just kind of has me a bit confused and perplexed. I guess in closing, what I want to say is, if you did miss out on the Switch 2 at launch, do not fret. Do not worry, okay? FOMO is a terrible thing. Believe me, my hyperfixations are very aware of that, as are my credit cards. You're not missing out on anything here, all right? Maybe in a few weeks' time when Donkey Kong Bonanza's out, then I'll be like, you know what, this game is worth it. But you've got to ask yourself, is it worth dropping 430 quid or however much it was for the Mario Kart bundle to play your Switch 1 games a little bit up-resed and the new Mario Kart game? I'm going to say no. If you disagree with me, that's fine. You probably will anyway.